We move on now to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. An absolute all-time shocker. Kyle Busch has won a Truck Series race. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that in reaction to this incredible upset victory?
Oh, I can't believe it, Ben. Are you telling me that Kyle Busch came down to the Truck Series and took the checkered flag?
Who'd have thought?
I've never heard this story before, especially at Texas Motor Speedway. Never heard it. Never heard of it.
I mean, I'm absolutely speechless. I mean, I never would have expected Kyle Busch in this situation to come into a series like the Craftsman Truck Series. I mean, it's not like he'd won 65 of these races before, and come in here in a truck that's not even his. It's a Spire Motorsports truck. He used to do this for his own equipment, but this is a completely different situation here. It's not like Spire purchased KBM in the offseason either. And he held off some of the finest talent in the Truck Series to get the W. I mean, it's truly an incredible. I mean, this is the story of the year. I don't think anything's going to top this.
No, unless when he does it again, with his final starts. It says in all caps, Kyle Busch shocks the world, and he did it there at that Andretti Spire Motorsports truck. So very cool, and also with Realtree, no doubt.
Yeah, well, in all seriousness here, something that came up from this that was surprising to me, given how long they've been in the sport. Realtree was on his truck this weekend, and this is their first time in Victory Lane as a sponsor, which, we had the Hooters drought ended this weekend as well with Chase Elliott. The McDonald's drought ended not so long ago with Bubba Wallace getting his win at Talladega. So, Brandon, do you have any thoughts on that? I was quite surprised, given I would have thought for sure Realtree was on an RCR car or one of them that had gone to Victory Lane, but this was their first time.
Yeah, that's really cool, and that reminds me of the McDonald's drought. Reminds me of some other sponsors that never made it to Victory Lane. I think Kmart may have been one of those. I might be wrong. We need Brock Beard here to confirm that. But I'm also going through Realtree appearances over the years, and of course Kevin Harvick and Tyler Reddick when he was with RCR, Austin Hill, Austin Dillon, Dave Marcus back in the day. Down and down it goes. I mean, it's been all over the place, but never actually got a victory with him. I mean, it had been an associate sponsor with like Kevin Harvick and, also Dale Earnhardt. But yeah, first time actually as a primary sponsor getting the win. That's pretty cool. Also on the same weekend that, you get another one with Hooters. So.
Yeah, well, that photo of Kevin Harvick with Clint Boyer at Talladega, I think that was 2010, where Boyer edged him out when they were teammates at RCR at the time. I guess that was a close call for them. But, again, like you mentioned, just listing all those names off there, you would have thought that they would have gotten a win at some point along the way there. But this was their first time, and pretty cool paint scheme. I don't know, but I'm going to be picking up the die cast myself if they offer it, because I mean, goodness knows I have enough race win trucks of Kyle Busch alone with how often he's done this. But cool story there at the very least. And I have to say as well, credit to Corey Heim, credit to Christian Eckes, who had another strong run again. I think that McAnally Hilgeman team is firing on all cylinders, no doubt. One of the feel good stories of the year there with that entire effort. But despite what the statistics show with how many laps he led, it was not like he cakewalked his way to a 10-second win here. It was kind of interesting in the closing laps as you had some of those young guys chasing him down and trying to find a way around him to get the win. Unfortunately for them, they came up short. Fortunately for Kyle Busch, unfortunately for those that don't like the Cup regulars in the lower divisions, he picked up yet another win as he continues to rack those off here. So again, that it kind of puts us in a difficult position too. It's like Kyle Busch won a truck race. What more can you say about what we saw here? Some guys had some strong runs, and we'll shout them out here as well. But I mean, there's not really. I mean, it's tale as old as time here. Kyle Busch getting in this series and picking up yet another checkered flag.
Yeah, I will say it was a pretty interesting race for the trucks, which is really surprising despite the finish. Corey Heim had a really strong truck as well. And I mean, you look through the field there, a lot of heartache we see and but some strong finishes that don't always show up. So it was, the worn, I guess, more worn out surface here in Texas, that really unique style of asphalt. I mean, it almost looks like concrete, but it's not. Just the way that it ages out in the Lone Star State. But the trucks were slipping and sliding, and you could see it from the Fox cameras. So I was pleased with it.
Yeah, well, and again, if you see the second half of the results sheet here, unfortunate deal for Tyler Ankrum again. We've been talking a lot on the show about the McAnally team and how well they've been doing. Fortunately, got caught up in, I don't remember if it was an opening lap crash or maybe a second lap crash, but still right at the very beginning of the race. And Thad Moffitt as well. The unfortunate deal for that Faction 46 program. I know, just trying to get started here with that here in 2024, and just has not been the beginning portion of a year that they were hoping for. So hopefully Thad Moffitt can get some things turned around, as well as Lane Riggs. We talked about how this is such a great opportunity for him this year. Hate to see him have 31st place finish. But again, up front, you've got your usual contenders as well, like Corey Heim, Nick Sanchez, really coming into his own, I think. Christian Eckes, Zane Smith as well. He had a near top 5, I think, in the Cup race. He was running up front there towards the end before he got shuffled back. And then on down there, Daniel Dye, good run for him. The Gray brothers up there. Lawless Allen, again, this is actually preview to one of my one-shotting moments here. Great run from that Rion brothers truck as well, narrowly missing out on a top 10. So there are some strong storylines here, but I caught some of Brock's stream as I was getting ready for the wrap-up show yesterday. And, again, the age-old debate here, are potential sponsors or Xfinity or Cup teams, are they going to look at the results and see, well, he finished second, but it was to a Cup guy here. So in actuality, he was the best series regular. I think they more look for the first place result on the stat sheet here. And when Kyle Busch is in these races taking those wins away, it's a lot harder to get that checked off on your list.
That certainly is a viewpoint. I mean, yeah, it can be looked at that way, but I would hope they would understand who it is that's in P1 and then look down the line and see who their talent, the best of the rest talent is there. But yeah, I mean, Kyle Busch, he's not looking for a new ride right now.
Yeah, well, and again, that they can talk about this not really being his own equipment. Of course, Spire purchased Kyle Busch Motorsports last year, so
technically it is. Yeah.
If it's not, I mean, it's technically not, but at the same time, it's as close as it could be. I'm sure there's a lot of his former equipment that's part of this program here. A lot of employees maybe transferring over to that program as well. So it is what it is, and I will continue to say this is probably the only part of this issue where Brock and I disagree. I do give him some credit, not as much as winning a Cup race, obviously, but again, we talked about this in the last segment with the Xfinity cars. These trucks certainly drive very different than his primary car in the Cup Series with the next gen car, and to be able to jump into this series and roughly as often as not, with his win percentage, be able to just stomp the field like this and win a race. I don't want to totally discount the talent that exists in the Truck Series by saying it's a complete non-accomplishment either. Now, of course, not putting it on the level of winning a Cup race. I'm not putting his 200 wins on the level of Richard Petty, but there are a lot of guys out there that could be taking advantage of this loophole in the rules and taking up their 5 starts. And Kyle continues to do it, and he continues to be very successful in it. So, not a fan of the rule that allows him to do it, but he's a racer at heart, and credit where it's due.